Hi. Welcome, everyone. How y'all doing? I'm going to give everyone a couple more minutes to actually get on. But, so yeah, I know normally this would be on a Saturday, but Saturday, which it was supposed to be scheduled for yesterday, but things happened and I had to reschedule it. But I did reschedule it and let you guys know ahead of time, so I hope that helps. But yeah, we're going to learn more Japanese. Motto Nihongo shiete. Teach you more Japanese. I hope you guys have been using these sessions well, and maybe you'll get some practice. I am Sanzaki Kojika. You can just call me Kojika. I have been studying Japanese a long time myself. I am not actually Japanese. I'm sure you guys have all figured that out by now. My music. Oh, I didn't have it set for a loop. Sorry, guys. I had to turn it off yesterday, or last time. By the way, that celebration stream I did, how come nobody told me the music wasn't synced right on the stream? It sounded fine to me when I was singing along, but I tried to listen to the stream afterwards, and I was like, oh my god, it's horrible. I'll still upload how it is, but I'm gonna put a note to be like, I didn't know it was synced. I guess one of my, one of the plugins I had on or whatever, made it have a slight delay on it, and I wasn't aware of that, so yeah. I wanted to sing so beautifully for you guys. Somebody's here! Finally! Hello! Okay. I guess I'll start. I got somebody. Let me know how the sound is, please. And do let me know if there's any, like, huge delay or something, too, because I won't know. I'm a little tired and sore from yesterday, but yeah. So, since the last time, I've already given you guys some adjectives and taught you how to do basic sentence structure. This time I thought it was important. Yeah, turn the BGM down? Sure. Is that better? Okay, great. Cool. So yeah, but basically, because I've given you guys the basic sentence structure, I've given you adjectives, now we're going to need some nouns to describe them with, right? I plan on trying to take you guys into verbs next time, but we'll see. I might skip December because, you know, holidays. I'll probably do a lot of fun holiday-ish stuff, but next month is November anyways. I'm off. I shouldn't forget November. That's my birthday. Okay. Yeah, November 13th is my birthday, guys. You should remember it. I was actually born on Friday the 13th. So Friday the 13th is going to be lucky for me. But anyways, okay, we are going to learn some nouns today. I figure we'll just do some basic ones, but we can use some of those adjectives we learned last time and stuff to describe them, which is why I thought it would be a good thing to do them next. First, I figured I'm using a new Photoshop. Please ignore the fact that it's trying to give me the shortcuts and everything. I changed to my PC since last time, so everything's new. I figure first we'll go over some family words because everyone likes talking shit about their family, right? I'm also going to have to do a lot of explaining on these because there's multiple variations, so I'll explain that in a little bit too. Don't worry. I'm going to write some out first. I want to do these first.
Ah, もうぐちゃぐちゃだよ。
Don't yell at me, Izuru. I didn't do anything. I need to figure out how to turn that down. Anyways. Okay, we'll go with that. Yeah, Izuru's yelling at us, guys. We're in trouble. I hope you guys have watched some of Izuru's stuff. Maybe that's why he's yelling at us. Okay, so I have a list here of family words. So this is so brief description before we start going into them. There is a reason there are so many different variations. First off, formality is a big thing in Japan. So honorifics and no honorifics have a big meaning. So we'll go over them as we go through them and explain where the honorifics are so you understand. Also, there are many cases when you refer to somebody else's parent differently than you would refer to your own. So that's where some of these variations come in as well. I will say a lot of people break that norm with casual speech, so you'll probably not have to focus too much on it, but I do want to introduce it to you guys so you're aware of it. Okay, so first we'll go after father. So oto-san is probably what most of you guys have heard. O is actually an honorific, so you don't need it, but it is commonly used there. But to-san is fine. Also, the san, if you guys remember, I think we briefly talked about how in the first lesson that san was like just an honorific that's akin to like Mr., but obviously you're not calling Mr. Father. So it's just a formal honorific. So, but you can also do chan at the end, or even just drop the that entirely and just be like to, oto. Typically, you're gonna say otosan, otosan, though, just because, you know, it's somebody above you. It's your father. So, chichi, you might have also heard this as chichi ue, which is literally ue after it, which is like above. So, chichi is father. You only use chichi when you're talking about your own father. You would never use it for somebody else's father. It's a little more formal, but even in the settings I was in when I was in Japan, I didn't hear it used that much. Like with my host family, it was actually kind of cute. My host mom called her husband Tosan, like father. It was cute. So apparently a lot of them do that. But yeah, it's also not, if you call your own father like Tosan, Otosan, it's not wrong either. So, but if you're talking about somebody else's father, you always have to use that one. You can't use Chichi for their fathers. So if I was talking about your father, RTD, I'd be like, Raccoon the dog no otosan wa ningen nanoka? I wonder if Raccoon the dog's father is human. Probably a raccoon, right? So we'll go over those again. It's O, Tosan, and Chichi. Wakaru? Wakarimashita? Do you understand? I hope you do. I know this is going to always be a lot to take in, so I hope you guys are rewatching the VOD to take notes if you need to, or going to the archive on YouTube later and using it from there. Yeah, because I'm kind of just like typing this out, so I don't have like a list I can send you guys. I know in some cases I've sent you guys, some of you guys have asked for the Genki books, and we've talked about that and where to get them and stuff. So we can start using those maybe as a reference and a little later. Just trying to get you guys some basics down. There's a lot to cover. Obviously, learning any language is hard. Alright, we'll go on to the next one. So just like with father, mother has the same thing, where O is the honorific. San is also can be changed to like Chan and stuff. You don't technically need it, but I don't think I've ever heard anyone not use it. So yeah, it's very similar. Like they have the same thing. You'll notice like the first four all have the same kind of thing. Haha or haha ue is what you call your own mother, if you're being very formal. I mean, haha's not super formal. Haha ue is really formal. It's like matriarch kind of formal. But yeah, so you would only talk about your own. If you're gonna use haha, it's only ever for your own father. You would not be like Wang no haha, like Wang's father, like or Wang's mother. Wow, I just changed genders on it. Sorry, Auntie Amy. But same, Okasan. It's important with Okasan to make sure that a extends. Okasan is totally different than Okasan. Okasan is actually a way to refer to a customer, so yeah, you don't want to do that. Okasan, Kachan, Kachan. You hear Kachan a lot from little young kids too. Technically, Papa and Mama are also valid ways to say it in Japanese as well, so you can also use those. So, Okasan, haha. Remember, if you're talking about your own mother, you can use haha, but not about somebody else's mother. And the other one can be used for both. Yeah, they're basically borrowed words again. But yeah, mama, papa. If a lot of young kids call their parents that in Japan, so it's not bad. If you've ever watched, especially if you've watched like more like dramas or movies versus anime, because anime has a lot more slang in it than a lot of the other ones do, and that's not a bad thing. But a lot of it is because it's trying to, mesh with the audience, where movies and stuff tend to be more focused. Well, they're still focused on the audience, but I guess it depends on which genre you're looking at. But yeah, mama and papa is a much cuter way to say your mother and father, so it's something generally young kids use. Actually, though, even in English, when you get older, it's kind of weird sometimes to call your mother or father papa or mama or even mommy and daddy. I call my mom mommy a lot to her face, but that's also because she does a lot for me and takes care of me. So when I'm in pain or just not feeling good, I go like, "Mommy, help me, tasukete kure." So yeah. And also sometimes when my friends help me or get me something, like feed me or get me a drink or just, open something for me that I couldn't open, I like to be like, "Thank you, mommy. Thank you, daddy." But yeah, that's, not technically my parents at all. I don't think I've ever called my dad daddy, though. To me, I don't know. That just sounds too kinky. Ayama! Okay, we'll go ahead and go on to big brother, or older brother, I guess. Mom and dad. Yeah, I usually call them mom and dad, so I'm in the same boat. It's just sometimes I call my mom mommy. But I do see my mom pretty frequently. I also think a lot of people think I'm younger than I am, even in real life. Like, I don't have like a baby face, but I guess I just look younger. Don't feel young, but we'll take it. Alright, so we have big brother next. Oni-san and Ani. So Ani, it's important to realize, to note once again, is something you could call your own brother, but you would not call somebody else's brother. Unless you're in the Yakuza. Some kind of gang thing, anything like that. So Aniki Aniue is the formal way to say brother, but Aniki is something you hear a lot in like a formal setting. Yeah, Oni-san's an easy one to remember, right? Nissan, like the car. Actually, that is where the name Nissan comes from. It's a play off of Big Brother. It's obviously not spelled the same, but that's where it comes from. I think they actually added the second S so the pause would be there. Because in Japanese, you add like a baby tsu. I think we talked about that already, to get that pause and to quote-unquote double it. But I think that's why they did that. Because Nissan, not Nissan, Nissan. I think that's why they did that, to make it have a similar sound. But yeah. Actually, when I was a student teacher for Japanese at my college, some of the kids called me Aniki. Like, big brother in the shape of a gang. Obviously, we were not in a gang, but I've been always known for being kind of violent. I didn't really hurt people, though. I just didn't want hugs. And sometimes I'd say mean things. I still do. But yeah, so Oni-san, Ni-san, Ni-chan. Obviously, younger kids are more likely to use like Ni-chan and stuff. I don't have any brothers, so I have no idea what I'd call them. I'm better with hugs now. I used to be very anti-hugs. Now I actually will hug people of my own accord. Yeah, I really hated being touched. So if people touched me, I would get violent and retaliate. In high school, I used to bite people for that because I really didn't like being hugged and people would not listen. So I would just bite chunks out of them. Like, not actually like, physically get a chunk out. But I left some good marks on people. It's like, I told you no hugs several times and yet you still did it. Yeah, now I'm a lot better. I've gotten, to say more used to it, I've just gotten more comfortable with people again. I was very antisocial for a while, so. I was not raised in the wild, guys. Just rough middle school. Alright, so we'll go over that again. Oni-san, Ani. So yeah, remember you can go, you don't have to always have the O, it's the honorific. So you can go Ni-san or Ni-chan, you can change the san again too. Actually, though, Big Brother is obviously supposed to be, somebody who has that role in your life. Doesn't have to be a blood big brother. I don't know any children that speak Japanese. But if I did, I'd be probably a big sister to them. So it'd be that kind of thing. Like somebody, like a family visitor or something, who is the Oni-san age, which, would be under 18. But sometimes, like you'll see it a lot too when in series when like a thug is trying to pickpocket somebody or get money from them, even if the person isn't older than them, but they look like they'd be in the Oni-san range, will like go up to them and be like, "Hey, Oni-san, get some money for me." Obviously, they're not blood related. They don't actually see them as their big brother, but they're, being like, "Oh, you're younger and I'm going to act friendly with you." So it's seen as a friendly thing. So I can, rob you. I'm kidding. I mean, that's what they do, but no, that's not a good thing. And it's not always robbery. Sometimes it's just like, I want to borrow something or, you hear it a lot when people are like begging for something. All right, and then we have Big Sister. Oh, sorry. I'm going to yawn. I'm very tired. Oh, tired and in pain. Pecco. But I promised I'd do this, so I'm doing it. I actually have enough energy to do it, so it's fine. So yeah, Big Sister is the same. The O is the honorific. Ane is what you can call your own big sister. Anu ue. Like I said, I know I didn't write ue down. Maybe? Give me a sec. I'll write it down for you guys. So ue literally means
ああ、もう
above.
ぐちゃぐちゃだよ。
I'm sorry. I'll put it right here. So that was the ending I was using. Ue. Yeah, you kind of slur it together. But that's it's a very formal thing. So you'd see it a lot in like where they have like emperors or rich people or whatever in that kind of situation. Like those very fancy people will call their relatives with ue at the end for chichi, haha, ane, and an. It only works with these 4 right here too, by the way. Let me make a note. So only with... Oh, that's a huge brush. Why are you so thin? Ah! That's right. I figured it out. Okay, sorry about that, guys. It's also the color of the skin I was coloring last. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so you can only use it with those 4. But that's the ending. So yeah, one-san is just like oni-san, where you don't have to have the honorific. So it can be ne-san. Could also be ne-chan, one-chan even. Younger kids tend to use the chan a lot, but you can still do it if you're really close. Like in my case, me and Kitten are close enough that I'd probably call her ne-chan if we were actually using Japanese honorifics. Actually, back when we were in Japanese class together in college, I called her one-ni-sama. So O for the honorific, ne for sister, ni for brother, and sama, of course, is another very formal honorific. So yeah, basically, I was calling her a big brother sister. She's never been a boy, though. Don't worry. It was a joke from a series we saw called, I think it was Maze, actually, was the series. Gosh, it's been so long. But yeah, we watched it around when we were in college together, so it just kind of became a joke and stuck. My Japanese teacher thought it was hilarious too, so I just kept it. Alright, so we'll go over that one more time. One-san, ane. See, it's not too hard. There's a lot of different intricacies, but we're going with like the bare basics. If you do have any questions though, please do ask. Alright, so now with the younger ones, you don't really use like the honorifics or anything. If you're talking to somebody else's, or talking to or about somebody else's little sibling, you could use an honorific, but imoto is little sister. So like, I've mentioned before that I have a little sister, so you guys could be like, Kojika no imoto-san wa nan no hito desu ka? What kind of person is Kojika's little sister? So you could use imoto-san there. Yeah, because you're talking about her. You don't refer to your younger siblings by this title, though, so you don't call them, like, imoto. When you're talking about them, I could say, like, Tashi no imoto wa Sakura to iu. My little sister is called Sakura. Cosplaying Kitten used to go by Himiko. And then there's me as Kojika, and Sakura is the youngest. I call her Chibiko a lot too, which is a playoff of small child. She's actually taller than me, by the way. Our whole family's backwards in height. She's not much taller than me. While I'm 5 inches taller than Kitten, she is only half an inch taller than me, so it's not too bad. But yeah, so you wouldn't refer to your own little sister as imoto. You would actually call them by their name. So while Sakura would call me one-san, I would call Sakura Sakura. I'd probably do Sakura-chan because I think it sounds cute. That's it. There's no real reason. We were a lot closer when we were younger too. People change as they grow up. Not that we don't get along now, but she also sometimes drives me crazy. It's siblings. They're supposed to. Yeah, I'm in the middle of 2 sisters, so I don't have I have a little and a big sister. Sakura, however, would never be able to use the term imoto unless she's talking about herself in our family because she has no younger siblings. imoto. So that's not too hard to say. Imoto. That would be the same way you'd refer to somebody else's little sister. You use the same one in this case. So I could be like, trying to think who I know who has a little sister. I think everyone else I know has older sisters or little brothers. I gotta make up a fictional person. Oh wait, no, I can use Toya from Cardcaptor Sakura. Toya no imoto wa Sakura desu. Toya's little sister is Sakura. You could say, and in that case too, you could also say Toya no imoto-san. Like you could use an honorific there. Wa Sakura desu. Toya's little sister is Sakura. So yeah, imoto can get it. Yeah, the other three don't. It's like I said, it's a lot of it is because you don't refer to your little sibling by this title. It's a title and a word that means little sister or little sibling, whatever gender it is. But you don't ever call, like you wouldn't, call up your little sibling and be like, I mean, do you call your siblings? I don't know if you have any, but I don't call my sister and be like, hey, little sister, what's up? Or hey, big sis, what's up? I am more likely to say big sis though, in general. So it's the same kind of thing. They refer to their older siblings because it's the whole hierarchy of Japanese language. If you remember, I mentioned the first time, which was months ago, but I'll reiterate it in case. It is a very hierarchy-based language. So anybody who is seen as above you, you're going to show a lot of respect and use a lot of honorifics for. But anybody beneath you, you're going to treat casually. So in this case, your younger siblings are beneath you. It doesn't mean that they're literally less than you or anything. It's just in the hierarchy order of things in Japan. If you've been around longer or know more about something, you would be in the higher thing. So in that case, like, I don't know. I only know a little bit about cars. I've learned what I need to know, but my little sister actually has an associate's degree in auto mechanic. She was going to be an auto mechanic for a while, and then she switched to nursing. I know, quite a jump, right? Now she's trying to be an EMT. But yeah, so like I could still call her, in certain instances, refer to her as somebody above me because of the fact that her knowledge of cars. So like if I asked her to help me with, to change the brakes or something on my car, I could still refer to her as something with an honorific. I would not call her Imoto-san though for that. I wouldn't be like, my dear little sister, please fix this. I would be probably more like, senpai or something, But even then, I wouldn't have to because she is my little sister. That one would override the other one. So it's a weird, but yeah, the hierarchy of the language is super important. So anything above you is going to tend to have an honorific. Anything below you is going to tend to not. So yeah, imoto is both for your little sister, somebody else's little sister, and you can also add imoto-san on it. But you would not use it talking to your little sister. You would use it to talk about her. But you don't call your little sister, like you don't call her out as imoto, like where she'd call you over as oni-san or one-san. You wouldn't call her out as imoto. Hopefully that makes enough sense. I am going to continue then. Ototo is little brother. So you notice there's some similarities and they sound similar enough for little sister and little brother. So yeah. Ototo. So that would be, once again, you can be like ototo-san. Ototo. However you want to use it. But it's not a title you use for your sibling. If you're talking about your younger sibling, you could still use it. But yeah. Oh my god. Sorry. We'll say it one more time. Ototo. And the last member of your family that we're gonna go over on this one is Itoko Cousin. Pretty simple. Once again, so even if your cousin is older, you wouldn't refer to them as Itoko-san. You would actually call them Oni or One-san depending on their gender. Because Oni and One-san isn't limited to actually blood relatives. Like I said, it would be anyone you would consider that would fall in that field. So, I could technically call Samaru and Rajamitsu, who joined me for that escape room game the other day, I could call them an Oni-san and One-san. Samaru Oni-san, Rajimitsu-ne-san. Because they're both older than me. And that would be, to me, that kind of role, I guess. Especially Samaru has taken me under his wing with cosplay and taught me a lot about sewing. Rajimitsu and I are both artists, so we have a lot of art stuff we talk about. But I feel like we have about the same amount of experience. So even though we have totally different styles and different skill sets, you know, I don't really ever think would be calling her big sister. Yeah, realistically, I would do that. It just doesn't fit it. But in Japan, I would. So they don't have to be blood related. But yeah, so Itoko is the same thing. If you have cousins, I have 2 older cousins on one side, and then on the other side, I have 1 older, 1 younger. And 2 boys, 2 girls. So the gender doesn't matter for Itoko too. I could just be like Itoko. So you could be like, I don't know. You could ask like how many Itokos or how many cousins do you have, and they could respond. Futari. Yonin. Mine would be Yonin. Futari was 2, if you guys remember. 2 people. Yonin is 4 people. Alright, any questions over that? I guess I should go over it one more time. Itoko. I feel like Dora the Explorer. Should I like wait, say something and wait and just stare at the screen and wait for you guys to respond? Although at least unlike Dora, I'm not a recording, so I can see your guys' response in the chat. If there's any more no more questions, I will go on to the next stuff. We got a couple more relative type names to cover, and then we got some other good stuff. Yeah, that's the hard part for sure, remembering all the words. This is why it's good if you guys can, pause the VOD or whatever later. You can get all the words down. We're just gonna do these 4 together first because you'll understand why. Because these are some of the ones that I guess I'd say you have to be really careful when you say them because it's easy to turn one from another. So, aunt is obasan. Obasan. Basan. You know, you would use it to refer to an older woman that would be above the onesan period. You would also use it to refer to your own aunt and everything. So yeah, Japan is very much like if you don't know somebody's name, you can call them like one of these titles. But you do have to watch out because obasan and obasan sound very similar. So you could slip up and call somebody that is only in like their 30s and suddenly be calling them grandma instead. I mean, that's one way if you want to insult them. But yeah, you do got to watch that. Your pronunciation on these 4 is very, very important. So just like with the other one, you have o is the honorific. So you don't need it, but it is there. And then you could be ba-chan, ba-san. That same thing too. Obasan. Obasan. That's your aunt. Or a aunt. So basically an older woman. Then we also have Ji-san, her uncle, Oji-san. So you'll actually hear in some cases where some kids, especially like the more, I guess, like delinquents and stuff, will refer to their own father as Oji-san or Oyaji, which are both kind of in the same thing. Oyaji is, I guess I'll put that one down too, because that's actually not a bad one. It's slang, but... Oh yeah, Oyaji's kind of an insult too, but it is a way to do it. The first one again? Sure. Obasan. Basically, you don't want to hold out the ba. Obasan. Obasan. Oba-san. Yeah, you got to be careful with with all of these. And like I said, you'll understand more when we go down the list of why, because as you can see, they already look like they're spelling again. But yeah, Oji-san is uncle. So yeah, some people will refer to them if they're more, I guess, really, really casual and slang. They'll just be like, oh yeah, that's my Oji-san. That's my, they'll point to somebody and it's not their uncle, it's their actual father. So yeah, I put Oyaji down because it takes the G from Ji-san in there. That's where that comes from. And Oya is parent. So it's kind of like being like, this is my old man. You'll see it translated as old man a lot. Oh. So I mean, have you guys ever met those people who do that? Where they call like their parent, like their parents like, yeah, that's my old man, or yeah. It's probably more common in Japan, but it does happen even in the US. I'm trying to wait to turn those off. I don't like them. I know what all these tools do. Alright, Oji-san. That'll be the last time I repeat that unless somebody asks again. So now we will go on to grandmother. So like I said, this is where the fine line between aunt and grandmother is. Oba-san. So Oba-san versus Oba-san. You hold out, it's a little longer sounding. It's ba-a, not just ba. So that's why if you're not careful, you could call your aunt an old lady and make her very upset. Or you could call it, anyone who's not super old, calling them an old lady. Vice versa, if you say too fast, you'll be calling, an older, like your grandmother or whatever, an auntie. I don't think they're as likely to get mad about that. Like the other way around, I can understand because you're basically like, oh, you're ancient. Like, no, I'm not. So don't call me Oba-san. Actually, don't even call me Oba-san. Just call me One-san, okay? I swear, it works. Or you can call me Aniki. I don't mind. That's fine too. But yeah, so grandmother is Oba-san. Just like with the others, O is the honorific. San can be put into Chan as well. And you don't even technically have to have them. You could say Oba. But generally, you're going to hear it. So just like if you notice with, unlike the other ones, though, all of these you can use for any member, like be it your family, be it somebody else's family, or be it a stranger who happens to fill one of the gaps to meet it. Generally, you're going to use like big sister, brother for, I guess, like young adult to early 20s, possibly longer. Whoa. I'm like falling asleep, guys. Come on, keep me entertained. No. And then, I haven't finished my caffeine yet, that's why. And then, aunt and uncle would be for like, I guess, generally you'd probably start in the 30s, so a lot of women would tell you not to call them that age. But yeah, it's gonna be probably there till about the, 40s, maybe? Possibly the 50s, depending on how long you want to stretch it. And then after that is the last one. So, Oba-san. Alright, we'll go on to grandfather. So, there's the O again as the honorific. Oji-san. So, you have Oji-san and Oji-san. You just basically need to remember to hold it out when you're doing it the right way. Even guys would get mad if they're young and you're calling them an old man. So yeah, be careful about that. And once again, you can change the ending, Ji-chan. Actually, I remember that a lot because specifically in the original Inuyasha series, Kagome called her grandfather Ji-chan a lot. Ji-chan, Ji-chan, Ji-chan. She was more casual with him, so. And then last but not least, as we had said before, we have Oyaji, which is a way to refer to you, like, casually refer to your father, your old man. This is my old man. It's also technically kind of insulting, so if you're not that kind of relationship with your father, don't do it. You tend to hear it a lot from, like, I don't want to say, like, not necessarily gangsters, but, like, the people who are more laid back, kind of delinquent, not really always delinquents. And, of course, yeah, you definitely hear it from delinquents and stuff, but it's really going to depend on your relationship. I know, and oftentimes, like for instance, in Flame of Rekka, Rekka and his father don't have a bad relationship, and Rekka isn't particularly like gangster per se. He wants to be a ninja, but he refers to his father as Oyaji a lot. So it just depends on the relationship too. All right, any questions before we move on? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move on instead of singing. Yep, you just gotta hold it out longer for those. All right, so now we have some family words. Let's give you some other words that you can use as the adjectives. I want to try mixing some of the adjectives in at least in the last half hour. So we got a lot more time though. Got at least another hour to give you guys some more words. Oh yeah, I don't have my, because this is my other stuff, I don't have my Apple anymore. I'm sorry, I didn't export it out right. We're gonna give you some animals. Yeah, I'm sorry I ate your apple, I guess. What other animals are good? Trying to think what animals people generally talk about when they're talking about animals they like. Did you gamble your fries away? What other animals would you guys like to learn about? A pack of fries. I will go get my fries. How do I save this? I feel dumb. Give me a sec, guys. I'm adding some fries. I got a present. I gotta put it down. Okay, I need to move this screen. I can't see it. Yeah, Ringo for apple. Good job. We should do some fruit, I guess, then too, after animals. Do you guys have any other animals you guys want me to put down? I do have your apple in here. Oh, what do you know? It just didn't load for some reason. Oh, there it is. Whoa, my God, giant fries. Man, that's a super size, all right. Look at this, guys. Bribery will get you everywhere. Hey, Jellable. All right, so you guys have any other animals you want me to add? Oh. I mean, you guys probably know that one. Hamster. Sure, we can add hamster. Yeah, because these are going to be like ones that you guys would... Hamtaro. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I want these to be ones that you guys could actually like use to talk about. So I haven't had a hamster in a long time. All right, guys, you ready for the shocking one for hamster? deer? Sure. Okay, I can do 2 rows for sure. I know, were you guys surprised by hamster? And raccoon. Okay, cool. Go ahead and do both of those. I always want to put raccoon wrong though. Ah! Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys 2 different words for, yeah, there's a lot of, yeah, they didn't have hamsters in Japan. So I'm gonna give you guys a couple different words for raccoon too, so. Sorry, that was weird, so I had to do it. Yeah, I'll just put these under. Yeah, so there was a lot of things that they didn't have. So there's some of the animals you'll notice will be, yeah, will be like under different things. Let's see, maybe we'll add lion. Is that one a good one? Sorry guys, I'm always like. All right, any other animals? Because we'll go through them. I just wanted to try to fill this up with animals for you guys. And then we can talk about like food and stuff too. I will make one note too here. Okay, so we are going to look at that last one too because of all these words. So here we have a lot of animal words. Let's go ahead and go over them. So animals. All right, so neko is cat. It's a good word. It's probably one of them. You guys have probably seen those lucky cats. They're actually called maneki nekos. So neko is a pretty easy word. It's cat. Okay, we'll say it one more time. Neko. Alright, dog is inu. One. Yeah, I also should point out, since I keep making them, animals in Japan, animals in other countries do not speak other languages. Not the way, like, they don't make different sounds, I guess is the other way. They understand different languages, so that's true. I guess they would be speaking different languages. But, like, it's not, so this was a conversation I had with my little sister a long time ago. We were late night packing for a convention the next day, and we were talking about, actually One Piece, and she was curious as to why the dog in One Piece in the earlier episodes kept going, one. And I explained to her that in Japan, you know, they take the dog barking woo, 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 sound as one. Of course, her response was, dogs in other countries speak other languages? No, they still bark like a normal dog. But yeah, so they interpret the dog bark as one. We say like rough or roof, bark. But yeah, they interpret it as one. The part of it is because in general in Japan, they mostly have smaller dogs. A lot of it is space reasons, but even like if you guys actually look at the breeds that came from Japan initially, like the Shiba Inu and stuff, they are very small. And hey, look at that, Shiba Inu. It's a dog from the Shiba region. That's where the name comes from. I know, exciting, right? Most of you guys probably know Inu just because of that. You've been using Japanese word for dog this whole time and never even knew. Alright, so one more time I'll repeat it. Inu. Bunny is usagi. So if you guys are a fan of Sailor Moon, or have if the Japanese name for Sailor Moon, yeah, you use Inu. Shiba Inu. If you guys have ever talked about that dog breed, it has Inu right in there. It has dog. This is a Japanese dog breed. But yeah, Usagi is actually Sailor Moon's real name in Japanese. They called her Serena in the English dub, but Usagi is her name. Tsuki no Usagi, which is literally Rabbit of the Moon. Wow, so in depth. Actually, the Sailor Moon, if you look at their last names and their first names combined, they're very thought out. Yeah, our language is, so English, I always consider English to be a language that takes other languages into dark alleys and beats them up and then takes stuff from their pockets. That's how English is created, especially American English. So Usagi is rabbit. Usagi. Okay, bird is tori. Now there are going to be specific I'll share that choose by one. There are going to be specific words you would use for like different types of birds, but if you're just talking about bird in general, tori is bird. To note, I'm just gonna go ahead and add this too because I feel like it. I'll make Sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. So, for example, when I mentioned that...
もうぐちゃぐちゃだよ。
Izuru! I'm sorry. When I mentioned that certain words, you know, change with you, there's going to be... Thank you for the host! The raid! Oh no. Eh? Oh, I can probably just do that. That's easier. Hi guys. Konnichiwa! That's not even the right ko. You used the wrong ko, firearm. I'm not small. I'm ko as in child. Kojika. Good try though. So yeah, so for instance, like tori is just bird, but if you sometimes the different breeds of bird will have like another thing on it. So niwa tori is literally like garden bird is a chicken. Bark, 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 bark. I don't know if anybody's favorite animal is chicken. Maybe somebody's favorite food. I like seafood best, but if I have to pick out of one of the meats that's not seafood, it would. I don't know if it'd be pork or chicken. It'd be one of those two. I'm hungry. I haven't had lunch yet. I'm really good at that. Alright, anyway, so tori is bird. And then niwa tori is chicken. In case you wanted to talk about chickens. Nezumi is rat. There you go, firearm. Yoku dekimashita. Hi. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually like the more common spelling of Kojika, but for some reason it always wants to come out with the little, like ko as in like, you know, little, but I was like, that's not right. It is little deer, but I'm baby deer. Kojika is actually fawn directly, so like the baby deer. Yeah. Alright, so anyways, Nezumi is rat. For those of you guys who have seen the series number 6, you probably already knew this one because yeah, that's, you know, one of the characters' names. But yeah, Nezumi. Rat. I think rats are cute. I like most animals though, so. Alright, Uma is horse. My dumb way to remember this is probably not one that would work for you because it's related to Japanese. Ever since I read Yakitate Japan, I cannot get this out of my head. At the end of the first volume, when they have to feed a horse bread, they used the pun when Kazuma Azuma fed the horse bread. He went umai, and if you guys remember from last time, umai is delicious and uma is horse, so it was a bad pun. I loved it. Daijoubu. But yeah, so uma is horse. You guys will need another way to remember that than the umai one, but that's what I think of every time I hear horse now. I just think of horses eating bread and saying delicious. How many years has that been now? ずっと昔だから。Uma. Oh, yeah. I will explain that when we actually get to Kitsune. So I will remember that. Thank you, Jarlable, for asking, though. I will. That's actually a very good question, too. Jarlable asked about Kyubi and Kitsune. So when I get to Kitsune, I will describe that one in more detail so you guys can understand it better. All right. Heavy, a snake. Heavy. Snakes are cute. I think they are. We already found a garden snake in our yard. He was gardening, I guess. No, snakes are good. They don't really do anything. When I was younger, I wanted a pet tarantula, a pet boa constrictor, and a pet ermine. But I decided against it because they would all eat each other, and it just wasn't worth it. They're expensive, too. But yeah, I like snakes. Snake! Like I said, I'm pretty good with most animals. I also like tarantulas. I think they're adorable. They're little fuzzies. I like most spiders, though, so. Yeah, I know, guys. I'm not really standard. Heavy, a snake. Alright, Tora is tiger. So with this one, I actually have funny. So you guys have probably heard in like games and stuff or fighting with, they'll be like, Toria! They make that noise. We have a stuffed tiger I named Toria because of Tora. And I like to say that and then chuck it at Wong. Toria! He's big and fat and round too. Chunker boy. I don't remember what he's called, but he's like a mochi shape. Tora. Tora is tiger. Tora. Alright, so now we're to fox. Kitsune is a term for fox. Obviously, kitsune is also the term for the like yokai fox version, which you know, are basically the same as foxes as far as physical appearance and stuff. But the whole difference is they have magic. They can do illusion magic. They can take over dead bodies, and they can also light things on fire. So yeah, generally, so with the whole term Kyubi basically means 9 tails. So it is still technically a kitsune, but they use a different term because of the amount of tails. So in kitsune lore, the longer a kitsune lives, the more tails they get. So those who have lived to basically become immortal, they're very strong, are known as the 9-tailed foxes. They become Kyubi. Because technically it was like Kyubi Kitsune, but you know, saying that is a pain, so Kyubi is what they call it, 9 tails. Instead of literally calling it like a fox, it's just like 9 tails, is what you're calling it. So yeah, it's different from like the Kitsune in the fact that, you know, it's stronger. A normal Kitsune does not have 9 tails. But obviously the mythological one is it ages and gets stronger, gets more tails. Now, yeah, you're not going to find kitsune in the wild. Hi, cat. Arata's here, guys. But yeah, so that's where the difference between kitsune and kyubi comes from. And this term, obviously, I'm teaching you the term kitsune because I'm supposed to be talking about animals, not folklore, but you can also use it as, it's the same. I have a cat has just joined my lap. Hello, Arata. Say hi to everyone. He's like, nope, I'm just going to sit down here. Okay, you sit down there then. Please not on my keyboard. Okay. Awkward cat in lap. My setup is not made for a cat in my lap. Alright, so yeah, that's the difference between fox and kyubi. So, kitsune. Kitsune. Remember with that su sound, it's not su, it's su. You gotta put like a little hardness to the front of it, because that's the T. Yes, Q means 9 in Japanese. It's one of the ways to say 9. I say, yeah, you probably missed that lesson. We did go over numbers, but yeah, Q is 9. I don't actually know what the kanji is for Kyubi, though. I definitely know Q is the first part of the 9, but I have to see if it's actually like, it gets translated as 9 tails, but I'll have to see if it's actually like fire or what is the second kanji. I haven't looked. I think it's the kanji for tails, though. Alright, so the next one, like we mentioned before, there are animals that didn't exist on Japan, or didn't have names. So hamster was one of the ones that got recommended to be said, and yeah, hamsters do not come from Japan, obviously. So hamusta. I spelled hamster wrong. Why did nobody tell me? There you go. So hamusuta. Yeah, basically, if there's animals that they don't have or don't know aren't like native to their island, a lot of times they will adapt the word from it. Hamsters came from the Western world, so hence the Western name for it. So yeah, you're basically just saying hamster in Japanese. Hamusta. Hamusta. Make sense? Alright, we'll go ahead and continue. Next is raccoon. So this one is interesting because they technically do have a word for it, but they also have an imported word for it. So araiguma is what they call raccoons, but it also is like referring to like guma is from the word kuma, which is bear. So their term for a raccoon relates it to a bear. Araiguma. But you can also call it raccoon. So yeah, they would understand if you just said raccoon. If you said your favorite animal was a raccoon. Araiguma? Ah, cat! Oh, okay, he left my lap. I can sit up again. Sorry, guys. Araiguma and raccoon. Okay, so a raccoon and a tanuki are not the same thing, actually. A tanuki is actually a thing in Japan called a raccoon dog. It looks similar to a raccoon, but they are bigger and like they're kind of like fox size, and even their body build is more like that. So a tanuki and a raccoon are technically not the same. Tanuki is often translated just as raccoon because the concept of a raccoon dog is something that we don't really have in the Western world. But tanuki is also another one that has become a mystical creature because just much like the fox, they are known for being kind of shifty. Tanukis, however, are known for, they're known for their illusion and stuff, but they're also known for bringing good luck in some cases. I apologize if anybody is offended by this, but I'm going to tell you guys about this anyways. So, tanukis are known for being lucky if they have huge balls. I'm not kidding. If you guys actually look at tanuki statues in Japan, you'll notice they have huge balls. Obviously, in the Western world, a lot of times we make them without it, or you'll see them without it. And there are some made without it, and you're not going to see them running around in anime with them generally because, censorship stuff. But they still have a lot of the properties that you expect from a tanuki, so just not that. Yeah, it was always weird when I found that out for the first time. I was like, I saw a tanuki statue, and like this is, years. This is even before I went to Japan, and I was just like, what am I looking at? And it's like, it's exactly what I thought it was. Oh, okay then. But yeah, it's tanuki. Alright, so now this one might be confusing because you'll notice Kojika, like I said, is baby deer, like a fawn. Ugh. Don't do it, raccoon. Don't do it, RTD. Is it calling you out? It is calling you out. But yeah, so you'll notice Shika is deer, but Kojika, Jika. I think I vaguely mentioned this the first lesson, but so it's not an easy way to like explain it per se, but there are times when adding another like an honorific to a word or some a different type of like title or whatever to it will change the pronunciation of it. And the best way to say it is simply because it sounds better that way. So Koshika sounds a little rough, but Kojika sounds fine. So while shika is deer, when you add the ko to it, it becomes jika, kojika. But yeah, otherwise it's deer, shika. So actually, Japan does have deer. If you guys didn't know, deer is the only species of animal that they have found on every single continent, save for Antarctica. So every place has deer of some sort. They're all from the baseline same, but even if they're different geniuses now or whatever, they're all deer. So, although I think most of them have some form of just like wild deer that's more akin to what you guys see. Like it's the same in Japan. When we went to Nara, if you guys don't know about Nara, it has the Shika Park, the deer park, where deers just kind of chill around and walk out, and you can buy them food and feed it to them, and they're so used to humans that they come up and follow you, and they tried to eat Wong's shirt. We actually even went to a Buddhist temple later that was nowhere near it, and there was just a deer chilling out there. We're like, oh, they're all the way over here too. It was fun though. I got to meet some of my Japanese relatives. Because yes, said Kojika is baby deer. My real name is Fawn, so I just make it Kojika for ease. And even when I was in Japan, they called me that because it was easier for them to say. So Kojika, Shika is deer. Shika. Okay. So Shishi is lion, just in case you guys wanted that one. Pretty easy. Shishi. And yes, lion as in the wild animal. Rawr. Shishi. And last but not least, we have Ko. So the reason I put this one in is not just because I wanted to talk about Kojika, but Ko, by putting it in front of the word, it doesn't, well, some of them will have it after, but most of them have it before. Putting it in the front of certain words, you can change it to basically a young one in that animal. So, koneko is kitten. Koinu is puppy. Now, some of them actually will have different words for their babies, but like a lot of them, you just kind of slap ko on the front. And obviously deer was the same way. Kojika. So ko on its own can be when you're talking about like a child, but when you combine it with the animal word, it just makes it like the young one in that thing. I'm not sure how many of these, like some of these I've never heard them talk about the babies in them, so I'm not familiar. But I would assume it'd work the same. All right, any questions about animals? Animals. All right, then we will go ahead and do one more thing of words before we start trying to actually make some sentences with them now, since we had adjectives last time too. I'm gonna mostly focus on food on this one, but if you guys have something else, it just depends on which one you like to say better. If you'd rather say araiguma or raccoon, I mean they're basically not any different per se. They are. Trying to think the best way to say it, because they're both the same kind of raccoon. I guess by saying araiguma, literally it's like arai as in washing, bear that washes is the normal raccoon. It's like the common raccoon. It's just your normal raccoon. Versus raccoon is just raccoon in general, I guess. Because, I mean, there's probably a lot of different types of raccoons. But the raccoon family is the araiguma family too, so... yeah, so I honestly have never talked about raccoons with somebody in Japan, so I can't verify which term they would prefer to use either. My guess is that the younger generation probably uses raccoon more, where the older generation probably uses araiguma. It also could be a, what do you call it? That thing, a dialect thing too. I know somebody said something. Oh, we said apple. Okay. All right, so what other like foods or even other words would you like to learn how to describe? Go ahead, guys, shout out words. Yeah, I'm giving you guys fries if you like it or not. It doesn't all have to be food, but if you guys have other food words you want to know, I guess I can think of a couple right off the top. Oh, okay. All right, we got. You trying to talk about pineapple on pizza? Is that why? You'll find something exciting with all these too. It depends. I know a lot of people call it ramen instead of ramen, but I think most people nowadays call it ramen, which is what it's. The Japanese would have a softer sound on the L, so it'd be like ramen, but it's still, yeah, it's still pronounced that. I'm sure you're shocked about how some of these words are. So, I'll talk about it. I'll just go over these really quick first, and then if we want to add more, we should probably have time because this is not that long of a list. Okay, so yeah, I'll talk about potatoes when we get to it and explain it better. But so yeah, first we have ringo is apple. That one's pretty normal. Lingo. All right, so potato. Now, potato is a weird one. So you can actually say, you can say French fries in a lot of different ways, but potato is usually the most understood. Potato, though, can also mean a lot of other types of potato. It can mean like any kind of like baked potato, sweet potato, fried potato, chips. So yeah, potato just means potato specifically, but yeah, if you go to a place and like a fast food joint and order a potato, you're gonna get French fries. Yeah, they don't really use the term French fries themselves. Now you can say like Frenchy potato. Yeah, Frenchy potato, and that's like French potato. Fried potato, That's fried potatoes. Could also be french fries or chips. Yeah. Now, you can say furenchi furai, french fry. But yeah, it's not really used that much, actually. You can also say furenchi furai potato if you want to go that insane. But yeah, generally, like, potato is like one of the most basic ways to say it. French fry. Nice and simple. Potato. Potato. So yeah, you're basically saying potato. Alright, ichigo is strawberry. Ichigo. Now, the ichigo from Bleach is not strawberry. The ichigo from Tokyo Mew Mew is. They use different kanjis. If I remember correctly, with his last name or whatever, because I know Ichigo, I believe in the it's the kanji that his name is supposed to use is like the one child or like the chosen one. So that's where it comes from, because you know Ichi as in one. Yeah. Hi, you're back, cat. You left already. What do you want now? So yeah, Ichigo is strawberry. Ichigo. Melon is melon. I know, that one is shocking, right? It's another one that's really easy. Melon. So melons in Japan are a little different. Like if you hear melon, what it looks like is a cantaloupe, but it's a different. It's a muskmelon. It's sweeter. I like it a lot better. I'm not super keen on cantaloupes. I like honeydew, but I really like melon. It's a very good fruit. I love melon from Hokkaido, especially. If anybody ever finds the melon Kit Kats from Hokkaido, please let me know. Send them to me. I'll give you my box address. Not my home address, but my box address. You can ship me gifts, preferably food. Alright. Melon is melon. Alright. Pineapple! So pineapple does actually have a Japanese word because yeah, pineapples are they're native to like the Okinawa area, the warmer climate. So they do have pineapples in Japan. And they're hori. But nowadays you don't really use that term a lot in Japan, especially since so many of them are still imported for pineapples to the other places. So pine, not pain, pine. Like pine tree. Pine is also a way to say pineapple. And yes, pine is also a way to say pine tree. But yeah, if you're talking about wanting to eat something, they're going to assume the pineapple and not a pine tree. Unless you're a woodchuck. Even though woodchucks don't chuck wood. So we have hori and pine. So a lot of these other words that got asked for me to put in, these foods are stuff that was imported. Because obviously these are not Japanese dishes normally. I will say they do a really good job with them, especially the pizza. I love Japanese Italian food. It's my favorite. Basically, their version of, I guess, what is that American place called? Fazoli's is Caesarea or Gusto, and I love Caesarea. I've never tried Gusto, so I can't say. Yeah, that would be a great way to grab somebody's attention. Pine no tabetai. Oh, you want a pineapple? No, I want a pine tree. I'm gonna go nom on a tree. Nom 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 nom. Mogu 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 mogu. Okay, so burger is baga. Yeah, basically you're just taking the word and making it sound Japanese is what you're doing. So yeah, because hamburgers are not something they have. And yeah, you can go hanbaga, but hanbaga is actually a different type of food. It's not a burger. It's not like a hamburger. It's a hamburger steak, which is another imported food, which by the way is amazing. I love hamburger steak. It's one of my favorite easy Japanese dishes. I really like Japanese food in general though. So actually, I really like food in general. So yeah. That baga is hamburger. Pizza is pizza. Pretty simple. Pizza. Like the Tower of Pisa. Pizza. And then, so sandwich, you have two different ways you can say it. Generally, when I say it in the way I've always heard it is sando, you can just say sando. Like, the reason is because it comes from sandoichi, sandwich. They just take it off because it's longer. So a lot of the like words like you'll sometimes notice they're shortened. Like same with pine, it's not pine apple, it's just pine. They shorten it because it's easier to say. But yeah, sando. I really like tamago sando, which are egg sandwiches. Egg salad. Egg salad? Yeah, egg salad. Japanese egg salad sandwiches are really yummy. I don't know. I say I don't know what it is, but I actually tried making one, and I know exactly what it is. Japanese mayonnaise I like better than American mayonnaise. So I like Kewpie mayonnaise. I get it all the time. You can actually order it on Amazon too. It's much better than American mayonnaise. I actually made potato salad with it once for cookout, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. I mean, I like potato salad, but oh my god, I loved it. But yeah, so I never really thought I liked egg salad, and then I got tamago sando on the plane, and I was like, once as like, you know, part of like our snack, and I was like, oh, I want to eat more of these. Furutsu sando is another thing that we don't really have here. Fruit sandwich. I've tried making them from scratch before too, but we usually just buy them out. It was hard for me to make this from scratch because at the time I didn't own a hand mixer, so I hand whipped the whipped cream, and that was a pain in the ass. But yeah, so it's actually fruit on a sandwich. Typically it's strawberries and kiwis at least, and you put it with like a kind of whipped cream thing. Yeah, so that's a fruit sando. Fruit sando. Wong really likes those a lot. But yeah, sando, sandoichi, sandwich. Yay! Alright, any questions over that? Okay. Do you guys have any other nouns you guys want to go over before we start making sentences? Yeah, it's interesting that they did get shortened, but it makes sense because even in the U.S. we do that. Like we don't always say the long words for things. I mean, in our case, a lot of times we abbreviate them to like letters, but we still don't say all of it. I mean, even etymology wise, a lot of our sayings, our proverbs, got shortened over time, which is why their meanings changed. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's the evolution of language in general. Like for instance, the phrase, the proof is in the pudding, is only half the phrase. Because basically it comes out to, I don't remember the exact wording of it, but it's like the proof is in the pudding when you taste it kind of thing. So it's still similar. That one actually has kept a similar meaning. Okay, so how did the words like pizza and burger originated? So they are written in katakana, which if you guys, for those who were at my first lesson where I talked about the different alphabets, katakana, oh no, I did a hiragana lesson. That's where I talked about it. So that was like the second. But yeah, katakana is the third alphabet, and it's made specifically for imported words. So pizza and German and burgers are, yeah, they were imported from Western means. Therefore, they used the Western terms. Japan didn't have a term for them. It was something that was new to them. So when they first got it here, they didn't know what to call it, and because, you know, it already had a name, why rename something that has a name? They just kept it. Like, actually, I say we didn't cover this one, so I'll go over it right now. Did you guys know that the Japanese word for bread is pan? That actually comes from Portugal. They actually had bread pretty early on. So back before they were trading with everyone else, when their port was closed to almost everyone, they were trading with the Dutch and the Portuguese and then the German, because they didn't actually understand that Deutsch was not Dutch. Because they didn't understand German, or Dutch, so they couldn't tell that the Germans were not the Dutch. They thought they were the same. So German got snuck in there too because of that. But yeah, so a lot of their foods that came in early on were imported from those countries. And even their school term, the way that they do school, and the concept of the sailor fuku, the sailor collar uniforms, are all from Dutch and Portugal. I would say they have a strong emphasis. They still are pronounced the same way you'd pronounce Japanese. Yeah, it's pizza. It's just pizza, not pizza. So it wouldn't be specifically stronger. And baga, the only reason it sounds like it's stronger is because you hold out the A and the G on it. Because, yeah, if you remember when I had baga, it's like written like this. Baga. Baga. So it's not emphasized, you're just holding it out longer. Because it's trying to sound like burger. Baga. Yeah, so I wouldn't say that they specifically emphasize it more. They just try to make it sound like the word they can. And to them, pizza sounds more than pizza, which makes sense. Burger, yeah. Burger. I hope that clarified things. Alright, so let's go ahead and try to make some sentences. I gave you guys a lot of words today. I'm okay if I have to give you some new ones, but let's see if you guys can actually tell me how these go. I'm gonna make you guys write that one too. Ha! Okay, so let me restructure these a bit. All right, let's see. Yeah, go ahead, attempt the first one. I want you guys in the chat to attempt it. So, the cat is orange. The pizza is delicious. I spelled pizza wrong. Sorry, guys. My brother is cool. And French fries are yummy. So we talked about all these nouns today, so. That is correct! Good job! So, he said, Neko wa orange desu. The cat is orange. See, look how easy that is. You guys are doing great. Neko wa orange desu. Cat is orange. Yay! Yoku dekimashita! Patch, 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 patch. Alright, who wants to try the next one? I don't know how many of you guys took notes of the adjectives from last time, but that will definitely help if you did. But yeah, basically it's going to follow that sentence structure. Blank wa, blank desu. So it's not too hard. It's all going to follow the same structure. And that's kind of where I wanted you guys to be able to get to this point today, so you guys can actually talk about things too a bit. We've learned so much, but you weren't really in the point where you can make full sentences besides after the first day where you could like introduce yourself. Jiko shokai dake. All you could do is introduction. That's okay. Do your best, guys. If you can't remember the exact words, at least give me what you guys can. If no one can get it, I will give it to you guys. But I want to see what you guys can do on your own first. I believe in you. 私は信じます. Okay. So yeah, I see you forgot the word. That's fine. So yeah, he got minus the word. Pizza wa oishii desu. Twaifu will definitely say this. Yeah, oishii. Yeah, there's two different ways to say like delicious or yummy. That's why I was like, I'll put them both down, especially because I talked about one of them earlier today. This isn't even an escape room. Why are words escaping you? Nah, I know how it is. Sometimes I actually forget the English word for things, and like for instance, Benry, especially, which is convenient. I would always be like, "This is so Benry," and then I'd be like, "The fuck does that mean in English? How do I say that in English? How do I English?" Especially after I came back from Japan, after studying over there in the summer, my English was horrible. I was like, I can't even think in English anymore. I actually wanted to go teach, and I went through 7 different languages for the word for pencil before I got the English word for pencil. It was pretty bad. I'm not multilingual per se. I can do Japanese and English, but I also know a little Spanish, Italian, French, German, Portuguese. I'm kind of casually learning sound effects in Chinese, specifically Cantonese. And I know very little in Mandarin as well, and then I also know very little Korean. But I like languages, so if you guys know other languages and, come on and teach me words, like that one guy from Russia who had come on and taught me some Russian that I already forgot. I like learning, though. All right, so what about the next one? Pizo oshii desu. I know you guys can do this. Ganbatte ne. Please do your best. Yeah. Okay, I'll go ahead and give you guys these two. I'll take that as answers. Oni-san wa kakkoi desu. Potato wa umai desu. Umai. Yeah, it was umai. I made the horse joke earlier with it. But yeah, you see, it's really easy to set up sentences now. Obviously, it's good for you guys to go back and relearn some of the words and try to learn the vocab I've given you guys. But you're doing great. So now you can actually combine sentences. And then for those of you guys who needed a refresher for how we did this. I'd flip a table. Okay, so I'm just gonna write this out. So here is a refresher for you guys on the whole sentence structure for that we're looking at right now, okay? So we are looking at the noun, then the particle, the adjective, then the verb. So we talked a little bit about this, but I'll explain it in a little more detail right now. So des is technically, it's a verb, but it's not a verb. So it conjugates and everything and acts like a verb, but it doesn't have any meaning on its own. So unlike verbs in general in Japanese that say that if you say them, they have their own meaning, des doesn't. You can't just say des. You can say watashi desu, me. But that's just it. The des is never really translated. It gives the rest of the sentence meaning, but on its own, it doesn't really mean anything. So yeah, it's an ending. Proper Japanese ends in verbs. However, a big thing about casual or slang stuff too is that you will remove the verb, especially des, at the end of a sentence. So yeah. But that's typically the sentence structure. So this is the sentence structure we're looking at right now because we've already gone over, we haven't done actual other verbs, so we're not really going to go too crazy on those right now. I want to try to start getting you guys into verbs and some conjugation next week. Not next week, but next session. I will hold the poll for it. I do know when karaoke is going to be next month, but I don't, because I'm picking my birthday for karaoke, guys. I'm going to sing on my birthday. Yeah, you guys can't stop me. But this one, well, you guys will, you can vote on my Twitter again for it. So, and then, but yeah. So, yeah. So the particle, in this case, your particle is always going to be wa. You can add, there's other particles that we'll use. We have not talked about particles at all yet. I will throw some in when we start doing verbs because you will need them. Because technically this isn't just a noun, it's the subject. Because with the topic, you use a different particle. I know, you're like, what? Yeah, we're going back to like, what is it? Diagramming sentences and crap. Going back to English lessons, man. To be fair, my English and understanding of grammar improves a lot by learning foreign languages. So, because yeah, like, do we remember this stuff? No. But when you have to learn it for a foreign language, you have to kind of relearn it again. So I did. And now I teach it. So I get a refresher all the time. But yeah, so your subject will always follow wa. So your subject is your noun, wa, then you have the adjective des. So that's how we've been making it. And like I said, you want to end in the verb. So the verb in this case is des. Wa is akin to saying like is. Just a reminder though, this is because it's particle wa. It is not written as wa. It's actually written as ha, but it's pronounced wa. I know, confusing, right? You guys mostly understanding this? Yeah, English, honestly, English is one of the most confusing languages. So I'm always like, anybody who learns it as a second language, kudos to you. It is hard. It is very hard. There's still things to this day that I've learned about English, especially as a writer, when I'm going through and editing and figuring stuff out. Like, I've learned a lot. I also feel like with rules, there are more exceptions to the rules and things that follow the rules half the time. So it's like, what's the point of these rules? Why do they exist? But yeah, so if you guys understand the basics. Yeah. But yeah, that's why learning a foreign language really helps you understand sentence structure too of our own, because you start being like, okay, well, this is this. So then you look at our own sentence structure and you're like, ah, yes. Because as we said, this is like saying, this is like saying something is blank. So you see, there's no translation for does here either. Because this is taking the part of is, which in English is a verb. It's a particle in Japanese. Because with, like I said, you don't always technically need to have the does if you're doing casual. But this is what the sentence, it implies the does without showing it. So, but yeah, grammar can be confusing in any language. So I hope you guys are mostly following me along with this. I want you guys to try to make some more sentences for me. This time I will let you guys give me the sentences. So, you know, pick a noun, pick an adjective, and let's go. You can always give them to me in English as well. I'd love to see you guys try in Japanese, but just do your best, okay? No worries, guys. Take your time. The only way you'll ever get really better at this stuff is if you practice. So yeah, that's what I'm here for. Practice with me. Ask questions. Tashi wa ii sensei desu. I'm a good sensei. I'm a good teacher. Yasashii desu. I'm nice. For now. Okay, welcome back! You didn't miss anything, just me dancing. Thinking about fries too. 私はポテトが大好きだよ. I love French fries. You guys, don't just leave it up to RTD. The rest of you guys give me sentences too. If you can only do it in English, that's fine. But we want to learn. We want to learn. Come on, guys. You can do it. I believe in you. 私は信じます. That's Itoko Cousin. Konnichiwa, potato wa ataeru Kojika desu. What are you trying to say there? Ugh. I mean, it was a good effort. What are you trying to say? Oh, give Kojika fries. Yeah, we haven't talked about, technically, I could just say, potato kudasai! Fries, please. So, like, give me fries. But in that case, so what he was trying to say, guys, is, I'll go ahead and write this down. This is a little more complex, but we'll go ahead and look at it anyway, since it was put up there. Give Kojika fries. So we haven't talked about verbs and all that, so this is why this is a little trickier. We also haven't talked about other particles, but so that's how it would actually be. Kojika ni potato o ataite. So it's a command form of a verb. So we definitely haven't looked at that because we haven't even looked at verbs. We haven't looked at the particle ni, but that's to something or to, yeah, so in this case, give to. But it can also involve location, like going to someplace. Yeah. Like I said, we haven't done this yet. So it's actually interesting that you got the word ataeru. So that was cool. That was in there. Yeah. Kojika ni potato o ataite. And then I can also say, because I'm asking for fries myself. So earlier I said potato kudasai, like give me fries. The watashi ni is implied, and that's why I didn't say it. Yeah. So we didn't really talk about this, but here, I'll show you the grammar of it really quick too. This right here is actually, so this is the subject. This is our particle this time. This is actually a direct object. Direct objects are always followed by this particle. And there's our verb in the te form. Yeah, so like I said, this is a lot more complex than we are ready to go over. The same thing here. So in this case, me as the subject. You notice now the verb's over here, though. I'm going over the wrong one. I'm going on the English. What the heck? Sorry, guys. Hi, I can English. I can word. Okay, so. This is the subject and the particle, but it's implied, which is why it doesn't have to be spoken. Same thing, you'll notice. Oh, look, direct object, and the same particle. And then this is technically the verb in this case. So yeah, like I said, we're not quite to this level yet, but you can see it gets a little more complex. So yeah, there's a lot more complexity. Good job though. That was good that you knew the taie verb. Do you got anyone want to make some more sentences for me using the blank while blink des structure? If not, I guess you know. To take. Ooh. Toru could be, but it depends on what you're trying to do. Itadaku is more like to like actually like take and just or whatever. Motsu is to hold or to take. Morao is to like receive as in take. Uketoru is probably what you're looking for more. Uketoru would be like yeah, uketoru would be more like the accepting, like take it to take it, to accept it, or like to take from somebody. I would also actually versus yeah, there's a lot because they all have like slight different subtleties to them too. And also, even though ataeru is to give, I would actually probably use ageru to give because that's usually what I use. Ageru, I give you this to you. So yeah, there's a bunch of different meanings for words. That's why I was like, verbs are really complex when we get into it. So I've been holding off on throwing too many. Like I didn't want to overload you guys yet, because yeah, next time we'll probably we'll start on some verb stuff, but it's gonna be a lot more gentle, a lot more delicate. Okay, so you guys hopefully won't get too overwhelmed. Are there anything you guys had like major questions with on today, or anything else that like a noun or something you wanted to know more about? We've got a little bit more time, but it is about just time to wrap up. So I don't want to, make you guys do too much. You guys have worked hard. It's a Sunday. We're supposed to be relaxing. Yeah, the subject, yeah, so a full workup of a Japanese sentence, when you start adding a bunch of other words into, is it's usually subject, particle, topic, particle, direct object, particle, verb. So that would be how, if you were to put every single thing in there possible. This could also be ni or a. Yeah, that's the biggest difference, because yeah, in English we always put the like we say I'm going home. So yeah, the verb would be in front of the topic, I guess. But yeah, in this case it's opposite. The topic is in front of the verb. There's a little leeway with Japanese grammar because of the fact that when you're doing slang and casual speech, it gets like a little mess around and stuff. But yeah, so. There's a lot to it. I don't usually think about it in terms like this though, because I've been studying so long that I just kind of like innately know it. But this is definitely going to be something you guys have to practice. I even now, the student I teach, the main student that I private tutor like pretty regularly, I had given him a list of all of the particles and stuff, and he'll always go back and check it. And it also has like this structure on there for him too. He's got the sentence structure down though, but sometimes he'll be like, I don't know what particle to use here. Like, well, what does each particle represent? Let's go look. Because each particle has a different meaning too. So it's like, there's a lot to really deal with. I'm sorry guys, it's not easy. I hope you didn't think it would be. I do hope that you guys are learning something though and having fun. Yeah, and basically what he said, so I'm going to go ahead and look at this sentence because he said it. So he said, but yeah, in Japanese it would be more like, and I'll get to your question in a second, Drawable. I do see it. So yeah, we have the verb here, right? And this is the adverb, subject, and then the topic? Yeah. Or direct well, see, in this case, it's really, Japanese, they refer to as more of a direct object. So I'll go that. Yeah, it takes a while to get used to it because, yeah, here we have, you know, subject, particle. The adverb is not too different in this parts. And then we have the topic, or rather the direct object. And then we have another particle and the verb. So, yeah, where English does verb first and then topic, it's reversed in Japanese. So yeah, that's a big difference there. So don't worry too much about if you'll just practice if you can, and you have, or if you guys, all of these lessons are archived on YouTube. So even the ones that are no longer up on the VOD, you can find them on my YouTube channel. There's a whole playlist for Japanese lessons, so you can review this stuff and pause it and be able to copy stuff down better too. So you'll have a chance to actually like go over it better. And that will help. The more you practice, the more you do it. And obviously, if you guys are in my Discord or, you know, see me on chat, like, feel free to drop something in Japanese in my chat. I'll respond. I always do. If for some reason you end up and like also, if you guys haven't noticed, you can plan games and play games with people in Discord. And if I'm free and join you guys, you can also feel free to talk to me in Japanese on there to practice. Obviously, I will probably overwhelm you right now because you're a beginner, but you know, it's a good way to practice. I will try to do my best to keep it at a level you can understand. Okay, we also had a question from Jalabo. Japanese celebrate Halloween. So, the Japanese don't really celebrate Halloween the way we do. They don't trick or treat or anything. But they do have their own, like, it's not quite, I don't know how to word it. It's not really Halloween. That's probably the best way to say it. Because yeah, basically they will, if they do celebrate it to an extent, like they've gathered it from the Western society, so it's not a Japanese holiday in any way, shape, or form. But they like to, they do like to dress up, and they like the concept of it. So what they tend to do for their versions of Halloween is they will like have street parties. They'll wear costumes and party long. They sometimes even have parades or party contests, but it's not really the same. But at the same time, they have their own, I guess it would be like other versions of, not quite Halloween, but so they have a whole yokai thing. Like if you guys don't remember or aren't aware, yokai is like their version of, it's their version of creature. Yokai is just a general term. It literally is being from another plane is what it kind of, or of a spiritual energy or whatever. So yeah, they have a whole thing of yokai. It's a big folklore thing. And November is a huge month of it. There's a lot of different festivals and stuff, especially like mid to end November. And that's akin to the closer thing. And then that one, they do dress up, but not once again, they don't celebrate it the way we do. They dress up and parade around and do festivals and stuff for the yokai, to ask for, you know, protection or just to celebrate the yokai in general. So it's a very different thing. But yeah, Halloween in Japan wasn't something they celebrated in the past, but now because of Western influence, they do celebrate it to an extent. Yeah, they will just go out and like party in the streets, like in big cities and stuff. They'll have costume contests at different places. They like to dress up, so they love that. That's not a huge thing. But yeah, you don't have people going door to door and passing out candy. To be fair, even in America, we don't celebrate Halloween for the actual reasons. I don't think anyone does anymore. Yeah, I can sneak words in. Just let me know, RTD. Or just ask stuff. I mean, I like to say some words, like I taught you Iggy Yaddy. Objection! Yeah, because for those of you guys who don't know, Halloween is actually the from the ancient fall festival from the Celtic Samhain. So yeah, we don't celebrate it quite how it's supposed to be celebrated either. But yeah, the Western world, the way we celebrate, at least in America, I can't say for every other Western one per se, that on October 31st, people dress up and we have children come door to door and pass out candy. Each city handles the time it is. Some will do it on a different day if it's too cold or if it's on a weekday or something. Ours is on Halloween proper this year. It's on Sunday. Just pass out candy to the kids in costume. I'm going to wear a mask and meet my neighbors. It's the way I'm going to do it. But yeah, so it's a whole different thing. Japanese culture to me is really interesting, and I love yokai and folklore. So maybe oh man, I should have like probably done like a one on yokai this time around. That's okay. This is better. You guys learned something more. Okay. Yeah, maybe one of these days I can also just do like a culture one versus actual language too, where we learn some, but we actually just talk more about the culture as well. I also have heavily studied religion and folklore on their ends and ghost stories. I used to do panels at conventions on mythology, so the folklore, and on the ghost stories. So I have a whole panel dedicated to that. And I also did one on Buddhism and Shintoism and other religions in Japan. So I have a good fair knowledge of that. I can always, maybe one of these days, I'll actually just do them as a presentation for you guys instead of a true Japanese lesson, because Japanese culture is important as well. And this doesn't always have to be Japanese language. It can be Japan itself, right? Yeah. All right. So any last questions before we wrap up and I go find something to eat? I hope you guys are progressing nicely. Those of you who have shown me what you're learning, you seem to be doing good. I know it's kind of a weird pace. We're working once a month, but it's hard to really, without sitting down one-on-one with all y'all and, you know, or even having a more class setting and meeting more regularly, which I can't do unless you guys are going to pay me. Yeah. So there's a lot to take in. So I'm just trying to get you guys the basic. I don't know how long we'll be able to do this, just because eventually we'll get to the point where if you've missed one lesson, you're screwed. So like eventually I'll have to be like, we can't go too far. But I hope that you guys are feeling a little more comfortable and have learned a lot. Oh, actually, I will be playing Phasmo tonight with friends. So I will probably be streaming that tonight. Just because it's fun. So Twaifu and Zill, well, Zill wanted to set it up, so Zill set it up. So yeah. Yeah, I did think about maybe if I could always be like, hey, if you're my subscriber or whatever. But I mean, yeah, I actually teach online and stuff, so I'm familiar with how to teach online. It's not a problem. But yeah, I think that's all I gotta say. We probably are streaming Akiba Soul in a little bit too. We got a lot of figures to go through, so. All right, thank you guys for coming. Matane!